What's up, guys? Happy Monday, April 7th, national title game for the men's. Florida, Houston. We got your bets here today to watch for, to go out and get and make some money tonight here as you enjoy the final game of the NCAA men's season here. Well, let's talk a little bit of the UConn, South Carolina recap here. So let's get into it here. Let's make sure we lock it in and let's go at it. Happy Monday. Welcome to Lock It In here. My name's Tanner Dawson. Of course, joining with me is Alan Perales and Scott Cobe. Guys, what's up? Happy Monday. Yes, by the way, FYI, in case any news drops between now and then, we are recording this on Sunday night, but we're going to treat it like a Monday. I was going to
say, this isn't my work. What the hell?
Wait, where am I? Where am I?
What is this?
Tanner called you in for Monday, so you're all set, Alan. You don't have to worry.
Nobody tell my employer.
Scott, just to let you know, you're about to get an angry text from the nurses. They're not happy that we're using up the RAM.
No, they listen. They told me UConn won. You're free to use the Wi-Fi tonight. So I said, okay, great. Thank you.
That's right, guys.
Always gotta be on a day when Hawaii's not playing either, too.
No, Hawaii is playing. Hawaii's playing right now. Yeah, they're playing right now.
There you go. There we go.
I didn't put a bet in on them. I'm tired of watching Hawaii. I'm sleep deprived from it, so I took a night off.
So there you guys go. This is your national title game special here on the Rec Room Sports Hub of Lock It In. And we're going to talk a bunch of bets here. We're going to talk about the trends going on. We'll talk player props. We'll talk team game lines. We'll talk a whole bunch of stuff here for tonight's game. We did have the women's championship game yesterday. It would be Sunday. And UConn, South Carolina. And guys, it wasn't a surprise, to me at least, for that game there. Ended up winning. We ended up hitting our UConn money line over 133.5 parlay that Scott had. Ended up hitting my UConn spread. And I actually did the spread for the first half and the whole game. So ended up hitting a double there. Nice little win there, chunk and change, and we continue on. But any thoughts here on that women's title game there?
UConn's defense is not talked about. Their defense is ferocious. I mean, they put pressure on the offense to score almost every trip down the floor, and kudos to them. I mean, Sarah Strong, Paige Beckers, AZ. I mean, kids off the bench. I mean, they were loaded this year, loaded more, and that they proved tonight. The first South Carolina game was no fluke. It was no fluke. They just dominated. So,
all right, Alan.
I was gonna say, do you think UConn felt a little slighted being put at a number 2 seed going into this tournament?
They should have been. They should have felt
the way
slighted.
That they played, not just in this game, but all tournament long, kind of shows that they were out to prove that, hey, this is the best team in women's college basketball, bar none.
You will never hear that from Gino. I think they were, but you will never hear that from Gino.
No.
Never. So.
Now, you, Scott, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but UConn covered every single game in the tournament. They covered their spreads.
They did.
I know. You started betting them in the first round. I started betting them in the second round, and I hit every single time with UConn.
They were favored by 44.5 in the first round, and what I said is that is not a big enough spread. They will beat that first round opponent. I think it was Arkansas State or something.
Yeah.
Beat them by like 60. And it's just this team was just on a mission from tournament game 1 to today. They were out to prove we're not a number 2 seed. We're the best team in the country, and they proved it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's wild,
I'm highly impressed with them. What they were talking about in the rec room is let's see how they do next year. They'll be fine next year. It's UConn. They'll be fine.
What makes you think they're going to drop? Right? It's
right.
fine.
Right.
It's fine. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It's one of the most storied programs in college basketball, not just in the women's, but in the men's side as well. It's one of the most storied college basketball programs in the country.
They only have one loss out of like 8 games total combined.
Don't forget, I think it was a decade since they won their last one. It's been a long time for UConn not to win. So Gino's back. How many more years is he going to coach? I don't know. I think the emotion on his face showed he doesn't think he has that many more years left, and I don't think he does either. He's 68 years old or something like that. So he's got nothing left to prove. He's one of the best coaches in college, and men's or women's, and that you can't debate that. I don't think so.
Hey, he can stick around as long as he wants, is what probably UConn's saying.
Absolutely.
Whatever he wants to do, as long as you're having fun, enjoying it, and being productive, you're in.
How about the moment there towards the end of the game where Paige was brought out of the game when the game was already in hand? That special moment that she got, that was awesome.
That they were able to give her and get her in a title game. That's huge, you know.
And the last thing I'll say before we move on to the men's is Sarah Strong, 114 points in the tournament, most ever by a freshman in NCAA tournament history, women's history. She's going to be good for the next 3 years at UConn. So
that she will. So that concluded the NCAA women's side of things here on Sunday. And tonight we have the conclusion of the NCAA men's side as well. So we're looking here, Florida, Houston, guys. Florida beating Auburn, Houston coming back and beating Duke in this game here. It is right now a -1 for Florida favorite. You can get 1.5 still around FanDuel for Houston, 1.5 on BetMGM, 1.5 on ESPN Bet. So you can still get 1.5 there, but it's essentially a pick 'em game. Right. Yeah. Number 1 in efficiency in defense is Houston. Number 9 in efficiency. These are both according to KenPom. Is Florida. So like we're talking 2 top 10 defensive teams here going to play SEC versus Big 12.
Right.
SEC has a lot. I mean, Florida has a lot put on them here in the shoulders. Over, under 140.5 on FanDuel, 141.5 is your best bet right now on DraftKings. Yeah. Money line picks here, -115 on Florida for DraftKings, +100 on Fanatics right now for Houston. So, I mean, expect these numbers to go maybe up and down for a minute, but I don't think they're going to move much. At all. I don't think these lines, I mean, they might go back and forth between 1.5, maybe even switch for a quick minute, but I don't think they're going to change that much here. So
no, the way I've attacked this game, I bet the full game under. The way I've attacked this game is if we noticed Houston Duke in the second half, Duke had no legs the last 11 minutes of the game. Because what Houston wants to do is they want to wear you down, slow the clock, grinding possessions. So the second half total is 74.5. I went under that because I think Florida is going to get tired in the second half. Florida's going to make sure they're up by anywhere from 6 to 10 points. Because if they're not, Houston might win that game at the end. So I like the second half under. It's -115 on DK. 74.5 is the total. I think it's going to be a really grinded down game in the second half from Houston.
We are looking at the number 2 and number 3 overall most efficient teams. Houston at number 2, Florida at number 3. Number 1 was Duke, according to KenPom here. Like this here, guys, this game is essentially a great title game and exactly how it should be. Yeah. So close in all these ratings here that this is perfect. Alan, betting perspective, game lines, man. What are we looking at here? What are you thinking? What are you seeing?
Well, I mean, essentially, this is almost like the same team, right? You know, good defensive team. Only difference really is that Florida knows how to score a little bit better than Houston can, but they've both proven that they can come back from second half deficits. Florida just did that to Auburn too in their last game in the Final Four. So, they both of these teams fought their way to get to this spot, and rightfully so, rightfully deserved. Like you said, Tanner, these two teams are really evenly matched.
Yeah.
I mean, getting to watch Florida this year, there's nobody talking about Florida all year long, how good they were, how great they were defensively, because the talk was always Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, this, that, and everything else. All Florida just kind of quietly snuck up the SEC ranks and were able to get that number 1 seed, and it was beneficial for them. So, this is a tough team, regardless of what conference you play in, regardless of what team they're gonna take it to you. They're gonna take it to you every game.
Florida has not seen a defensive team like this. The SEC is an open offensive conference.
Mm-hmm.
Duke had never seen a Houston on defense before, and Houston just dominated them in the second half on defense. It was a clinic.
I mean, that was their issue when KU had life figured out early in the season, and we beat them.
Yeah.
We played defense against them.
Right. So that's why I'm saying I'm attacking the second half more than the first half, because I think Florida is going to wear down in this game, because Houston just pounds on you over and over again. They run you through screens, and Walter Clayton for Florida is not going to have any open shots. Kelvin Sampson's going to make sure he doesn't. So that's another thing. If Clayton's not scoring, where is the offense from Florida coming? I don't know. So I think Houston,
areas.
Yeah, people are sleeping on Houston. Houston can win this game. There's a distinct possibility Houston beats Florida. I don't think so. I think Florida wins the game, but if Florida does not get up by almost double digits in the first half, they're going to have some problems in the second half with Houston.
All right. I was looking at some simulations here. Ken Palm has this at a 72-71 win for Houston.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it's insane. It's an insane close game. Let me check D ratings real quick here. Another simulation AI tool I like to use. They have 72.8, 72.5 with the Gators winning. So like it's literally that close, guys. Like we're talking decimals here.
Would any of us be surprised if this goes to a pick'em game before tip-off?
I don't know. No, not at all.
No, I think that's where it's headed right now. It's a pick'em.
Tanner, is there any kind of bet to say this game goes to overtime?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah,
every place has them. Yeah.
I would not be surprised. Like especially if this is a plus money thing, maybe throw a little bit of pizza money down to see if on it going to overtime, because I think this game really does have the potential to be, one of those last second classic Final Four finishes that we've seen over the years potentially go to overtime games.
I don't hate that at all. I think this could be an overtime.
To go to overtime is a plus 900. Yes. On DK.
Yeah. I might throw $5 on that just to see. That's a possibility. That really is.
This really has the possibility. I'm not trying to say this will be. This really has the possibility to be one of the greatest finals games that we've ever witnessed. Potentially could be.
Yeah.
It potentially
could be. Yeah, it very well could be. And so here's the thing, right? College fans, general fans, just general sports fans, they want to see points. These kind of fans might be very bored on this game because of the defense being played on both sides of the ball. They might be very bored when you're going into halftime and they're barely touching the 20-point surface on each side. It could be an extremely boring game for these fans. For sports fans and college fans that enjoy the game and understand the game, this is going to be a lot of fun.
So here's my thing. We know Florida can score. What do you guys think the ceiling is for points for Houston? 72, 71?
I think they get in the high 70s if they need to. They can put it up. They can shoot. Sampson's team, yes, they play defense very well. But this team, particularly from what he's had in the past, they can actually shoot the three. They can shoot the three really effective. And they get the guys open. They get the second chance points, and they're able to get it up quickly with momentum going in. So I wouldn't be surprised seeing the low 80s. If they had to do it, I think that's where they could go.
Okay. Because I don't think they have to, but if they did, what would be the ceiling? And you're saying in the 80s somewhere.
Yeah. So like right now, Florida team total points on DK over 70.5 is -120, under 70.5 is -110. Houston at 70.5 is -120, under 70.5 is -110. So they're pretty even on their total points. They are even on their points total. So
every place you look, everything is even. Points, whatever. It's even.
Yeah.
So nobody can pick a winner in this game. And if you think you know who's going to win, you're probably lying because nobody knows who's going to win this game. Everybody says, "Oh, Florida's going to win it." No. What I saw from Houston the last 12 minutes of the game against Duke, if that team shows up, Florida ain't beating them. I'm sorry. They're just not doing it. So Florida's got their work cut out for them. They've never seen a team like this on defense.
They really do. They really do, guys. So let's talk a little bit here. We just kind of chatted about the game and what to expect here. Now let's talk some bets here. Let's talk a little game lines going on here. So like I said, Florida
real quick, Tanner, I looked this up real quick. Houston averages 73.9 points a game this season. They're ranked 175. Whereas Florida is 85.3, ranked third. But at the same time, like we mentioned earlier, SEC is offense.
Offense. Yep.
Over.
Whereas you mentioned Houston, they're only giving up 55 points a game defensively. So, which is the best in college basketball.
By far. Nobody can play them on their defense is on. With a one-day turnaround, it's highly difficult to be successful against their defense. So
here's the top 5 best defensive teams statistically based on point averages. Houston, Drake, North Texas, Wagner, and St. Mary's. All good defensive teams.
The small schools.
Mm-hmm.
It's the small schools. Yeah, it's just
the small schools and Houston.
And all those teams on offense like to play slow down, grind it out, half-court offense. So there's parallels with all 5 of them.
The thing, too, is Houston has that strong mentality, right? They, like I said this morning, or on Sunday morning, this morning on Lock It In, is that tech. I mean, that tech ruins teams, right? If you do that, you allow that kind of opportunity to go, that could ruin you. And it didn't in the end. And that's exactly what you got to do. So, and people can cry.
Both teams have a 15-point differential or plus 15-point differential. Both of them are, both Florida and Houston.
Cry that foul was the whole reason Duke lost. And I'm like, no, go look what happened the entire second half. And Houston's defense and the way they approach the whole second half is the reason why Duke lost, not one play.
So that foul was the reason why Duke was trailing an 11-0 run the last 2 minutes of that game?
Apparently that whole foul was the whole reason.
It's all over the place. The Cooper flag foul was the reason why Houston won the game and Duke lost.
Hold on. So Duke led by 14 with 8:03 left. Duke led by 9 with 2:06 left. Duke led by 6 with 34 seconds left. Duke led by 3 with 25 seconds left. Duke led by 1 with 19 seconds left. But yet that foul was the whole reason they lost, guys.
That's the reason. No, it wasn't.
Anyways, I'm not going to get into it because I can go on a freaking rant. But like, guys, game lines here. You know, are we liking one of the spreads or one of the other? Are we taking money lines? Are we taking over unders? What are we seeing here?
So I'm on the under 141.5. I just think it's going to be a defensive game, like we talked about earlier. The other two I'm on is Florida, Houston under 74.5 in the second half. because I think Houston's going to wear them down, and
Okay.
Florida's going to have a difficult time on offense. And the other one I'm on is Houston money line plus 100 in the second half. I think Houston will win the second half because they'll grind Florida down. Look what they did to Duke. That's exactly what they're going to do to Florida. So I think if Houston is within 4 points at halftime, Houston's winning the game without question in my mind. I think Florida has to be up by 6 to 10 points in order for me to feel good about Florida winning the game. So those are the two that I've placed, the three that I've placed. I got some other ones that after Alan goes and you go that I'll throw at you and see what you guys think. Kind of like a little.
Yeah, and to add on to Scott's comment too, there was a couple times this tournament where Florida had decent leads, but nearly gave them up towards the end. I mean, Oklahoma, they were down a little bit. Texas Tech, they almost gave that game up completely. So they cannot sleep at the wheel at all, like you mentioned, Scott. They have to be out by double digits going into the final minutes there to have a shot. Because if not, Houston's just going to do the same thing they did to Duke.
Yep.
Yeah, Alan, what game lines do you like here? Game lines here.
I would agree with Scott. I kind of like that under. I like the under overall because I do think it's going to be a defensive game because that just plays to Houston's strength. And both teams are really good defensively as well. So if Florida, to me, needs to get out by at least 20. They need to get hot right out of the gate in order for me to think that they have a shot to win this game. Because if it's a close game early on, if it's like 2019 with like 3 minutes to go in the first half, they're in trouble. They are in serious trouble.
I agree. I agree in this. I could see both ways, right? I could see Florida coming out and kind of doing what Duke did, right? Get out ahead, slow start for Houston, and being up by 10. But I could also see the other side of things where it's a Tennessee game and they only scored 8 points and 4 minutes left in the first half. I could see that too. And it just depends on how much Houston. And I love the fact that it's only a day in between these games. This is perfect. This is exactly how these championship games should be. So, that could really benefit, I think, more Houston than it could Florida in this one, despite Houston having to play that battle they did. Florida, had Auburn and they had to contain there. They had to play a little defense, but they also had to score a bunch because Auburn scores a bunch. So, I don't know. I can see it both ways there. I do like the under in the first half, 66.5. I do like that under. I don't think they come close to that. I don't think they get in the 60s. Between the two teams, I just think they both play very lockdown defense in that here. Well, not necessarily worried about spreads. If I had to, I'd probably throw in the money line. Maybe I'd go Florida at minus 115 on the first half, and then maybe Houston for the game at that plus 100. So, or like Scott did, first and second half, right in that range. So, it's a tough game to pick, guys. It's a tough game to pick game line wise.
It's awful tough. It's awful tough.
And there's no true trends against defenses, top 10 or anything else going in that. I checked. I have nothing for game lines for trends. Like these guys are just, it's just what it is.
Right. I mean, you're going to have a lower scoring game. You're not going to have the 83-79 game. You're going to have probably 68-62. You're probably going to have 66-63. That's more likely to happen than the 83-79 game, I think.
You're
so,
right.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Right.
a couple things.
Go ahead.
A couple things I saw on the different sites. I've been looking around, scouring the sites for a lot of the last 3 or 4 hours. FanDuel has each team to score less than 70 points at plus 220. It's only a one-way. It's only a one-way bet. It's plus 220. I like that. I'm leaning toward going with that, putting some pizza money on it. Number one. Alan, what do you think?
Both teams
on a team that only gives up 55 points average in a game. Yeah. I like that.
See, I don't hate sprinkling a little pizza money. I don't think that happens. I think they're in the 70s when they finish. I think Florida, despite what Houston can do,
Florida is too offensive of a team to be held back like that.
And
it's
like
going to take
play defense too, but like I think Florida's going to force Houston to have to shoot the ball and execute that part.
And the other thing you're going to have to hope for is the game is in the high 50s, low 60s with less than a minute left, because there's going to be fouls like crazy.
Oh,
if it's like 64, it's hitting. 70 points is hitting. So that's one. On Caesars, time of first point under 34 and a half seconds. Can be any point. 34 and a half seconds. Under 34 and a half seconds. It's minus 115. So it's not like outrageous, but it's
a one-way bet?
A one-way bet. These are all one-way bets, except for the last couple that I'm going to give you. So
what
that's
what do you think there was no point? Do you think there could be a point?
In the first 33 seconds, say. Which means it's got to be the first possession that they score. Because if it's not the first possession, if Houston gets the first possession, that's going to run up the whole clock.
Yeah, I mean,
I really think
BYU in Tennessee.
So you could at least go 45 seconds without a point being scored.
Yeah, the Caesars has a 34 and a half.
Because, like I said, if Florida doesn't get that open shot right away, then they may have to adjust on the fly.
Three more. This is a one-way bet too. Both teams score in the first minute, plus 200.
Okay.
First possession for both.
I don't hate it.
Well, this is on BetMGM now. Will points be scored in the first minute of the game? Yes, minus 375. No, plus 260. I'm leaning toward the no. I wouldn't
mind dabbling a little bit of no money on that, man. Like,
yeah.
What do you think,
Alan? Because I think this is going to be a filling out game. So I think the first 2 minutes could be no scores. To be honest with you. Because teams
which in reality, if you're Florida, that's something you don't want to do, right? You don't want to get into a feel it out process with a defensive team. You want to score quick,
right? And you got to figure. So 2 minutes.
If there's anything I know about Sampson and what he does, and I'm sure you remember Tanner too. He'll make you work for that first point.
Yeah, he does,
especially.
And in 1 minute, it's going to be 2 possessions, and that's it. So they've got to score on their first possession, one of these teams. If they don't, you're going to hit on BetMGM. The last one I'll give you is 3+ 3-point field goals scored in the first 3 minutes of the game. Yes is plus 575. No is minus 900. I never would go with the no. It almost have to be the yes. Minus 900. But those are some little fun props that I found for the championship game. The one that I'm going to look at the most, points be scored in the first minute, and I'm going to hit no, plus 260. I'm going to say no.
I don't like those fun ones.
Yeah, they're all over the place. They're on specials on all of them. So I'm going to hit some fun bets for the championship game tomorrow night. So those are the ones that I'll find. So.
I like it.
Clayton Jr. 10+ first half points, minus 120. I don't hate that.
I don't hate that.
Looking here at some player props though. Like I got some trends here for you guys here for this game. We'll start here with the best one, I believe. And this is all bettable, right? This isn't like minus 180, minus 250. These are actually reasonable bets that you guys can go make a decent, some decent money on off of your bets.
Yeah,
here.
we can't in Massachusetts though, Tanner. You got to exclude us.
Yeah, I know you're stuck. You're like Alan at this point. So
I'm only pro props. That's it.
But hey, I'm going to be looking here. So this one is the PR. So this is points and rebounds, 16.5 points for Elijah Martin. So he's exceeded this in 5 straight games. He's averaging 19.8 in this total here. If we look here at his last 5 games here, 20, 17, 21, 22, 19. If we look at his last 10, he's only missed it twice, guys. He missed it against Tennessee at 14, and he missed it against Alabama way back on March 5th with 15. He's hit it every other time in this here. He hit it against Bama later on at the 3:15 mark with 19. So I'd be interested probably in that range there for points and rebounds, a combo bet is more inclined for me than it is just one specific factor, unless it's just a stupid bet that you can't pass up there. So I like
you're more likely to hit with them combined, right, Tanner, rather than just being it
generally, and they're higher numbers, right? So like his point total might be like 9, and his rebounds might be like 10 or something like that. So a lot of times they're generally a bit more friendlier combined between the two. Like if you're not, if you're like, all right, I don't think this guy scores 5 points, but I think he gets 9 boards, and it's in that range. It's kind of what you want. I do like the combos a lot better though.
Kind of feels like Dennis Rodman, right? He's not going to get you a basket to save his life, but he'll get you a rebound, at least 20 of them.
Get you the damn rebound and assist. Walter Clayton Jr. is a nice one. He's exceeded 23.5 points and assists in 9 of the last 10 games. He's averaging 27.3 in that, and the PA for that too. We look here at what he's done here. Last 5, he missed it against Maryland at 17, but he's crushed it the last two weeks, or 2 games. Sorry, 2 games. Auburn 36, Texas Tech 34. UConn game, it was 24. Norfolk was 21. Sorry, 25. But before that too, he didn't miss it at all. So that the only miss he had was against Maryland.
The Clayton, first of all, I would have to go over on the Clayton thing. His trend is to go over. That's number 1.
Yes, big time.
Number 2, what worries me about Florida is this. Some of those guys would not shoot the ball. All they did was look for him against Duke. That worries me a lot, because if Kelvin Sampson gets onto that factor in the game that they're only looking for him, he might double Clayton and say, all right, you other guys, one of you's got to beat me, because I ain't letting Clayton.
Okay. That's okay, though, because that's where the assist point comes into play.
That's where the assist comes in. Absolutely. So that's Alan with the combos. That's what's so perfect with it, because if he's not scoring, he's dishing. He's getting assists.
And again, if there's anything I've not learned from having Kelvin Sampson here in Norman, is that he always does that. He always tries to take out the best guy. He tries to take out your best player.
But the thing with Florida is Clayton, he gets open. He seems to get open, whether they double screen for him or whether they set him up, they bring the ball off the ball or whatever. He gets open. He's open more than he's not. So
he's fantastic to watch, Scott. He really is.
If he hits 3 or 4 3-pointers, he's going to surpass that easily.
For those that need to know, Cooper Flagg went over this. Canople went over this as well against Houston. So they did both get their prop there.
I mean, I saw Clayton's going over it.
Correct, yeah. And the big one that I think that gets me is the Zakai Ziegler with Tennessee. He did not hit this prop, but same time, Tennessee didn't hit Jack to begin with.
Right.
So I'm not too concerned in that matter, because Gainey hit it, Lawyer hit it for Purdue, Braden Smith hit it for Purdue against the guards at Houston. Nemhart and Gonzaga, a battle in Gonzaga when they played Houston, they went over this. So I'm not overly concerned here looking at past stuff. The guy's going to play the entire game. Like, he might sit out 2 minutes at most. You're going to have plenty of opportunity here. Give me some Walter Clayton Jr. points and assists there. You can get that on FanDuel at -113 as your best bet there for that. We can switch over to a little bit of Houston player props here. Was it Milos? Who's in?
Milos Uzan.
I think it's Uzan. So, yes, this guy has been playing more, right? A lot more. But his prop here that I'm looking at here isn't a combo. This is a pure rebound prop here. He has exceeded his 2.5 rebound prop 6 of the last 7 games. He did not exceed it against Gonzaga. He had 3 against Duke, 3 against Tennessee, 3 against Purdue, 3 against SIU, 4 against Arizona, 3 against BYU. This guy is going to be consistent. He's been consistent the entire time. And what are you going to do? You're going to have a bunch of shots being thrown up here because Florida does shoot the ball, and he's in there. Uzan is going to get opportunity. If we look here at his minutes, 28 minutes against Duke, 34 against Tennessee, 39 against Purdue, 38 against Gonzaga, 37 against Arizona, 35 against BYU. He had 22 against SIE, Southern Illinois. You guys know where it's at. But he still exceeded. He still exceeded. His only one he didn't exceed was Gonzaga. He had 2. He's on the border, so he's pretty consistent there from that perspective. So I like.
Who we talking, Tanner? Who we talking?
Milos Uzan.
Milos Uzan.
Milos Uzan.
The one thing I know about Houston is they're so defensive oriented. They send everybody to the defensive glass to get the rebound. Everybody. So he might end up with 5 rebounds because of that fact. It's conceivable.
He's up there. He's up there.
Yeah.
He gets it.
Oh yeah. So I would definitely go over on his rebounds. I think he's going to go over.
Season wise this year is 45% field goal percentage, 44 from 3. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Free throws 77.6. So if he gets fouled, he's probably one of their better free throw shooters on the squad there. You mentioned the 3 rebounds the last 3 games. That's his average this season. Is 3 rebounds a game. 4.3 assists averaging almost a steal, 0.9 steals a game, and 11.5 points a game this season.
If you watch the Houston Duke game, when they interview the coaches in the first half, Kelvin Sampson, Houston was struggling early in the game, and Kelvin Sampson said in that interview with the CBS reporter, "I'm playing my guys. I trust him. I'm playing my guys. He's going to play. He's going to get 3 rebounds. It's almost a certainty." So
he's going to go for it. I can tell you that much. The last prop here I'll give you to play is Florida's Thomas Hugh Ha, whatever, the forward. And I got the over 12.5 points and assists there for him. He's exceeded this 9 of the last 11 games. He's averaging 15.5 points and assists per game. And you're looking here, like he missed against UConn in the beginning, right? 9 there. He had Tennessee, he had 12, right? He was just on the border there. 13, 22, 17, 17, 14, 21, 13, 13, 19. He's in there. His minutes are nice. They're all above, for the most part, above that 21 mark. The last 3 games, he played 32, 31, and 25. I don't see this being much of an issue for him to get this here from the points and assists, just because of the Walter Clayton factor as well, right? In the way that Sampson does play the defense, like Scott was saying, somebody's going to get a bunch of assists. It's either going to be Walter Clayton or it's going to be Thomas here from a forward standpoint, because they're really good inside. Houston's really good inside, really good to get out to the 3-point range too. So I think Thomas here, I like his over. 12.5 points. It's low total. They're probably going to get a lot of minutes, and you're probably looking at least, I would say, at least a 14 in this one combined.
Here's when I coached against suffocating defenses. I know it's high school, it's not college and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I used my post players as distributors to my guards.
Correct.
And I think that's what Florida might do in this case: is dump it into the post and then pass it out to Clayton or pass it out to whoever. So I think he's going to have he might have half a dozen assists. And you're asking him to score 7 points. He can get that. That. So they're going to play him one-on-one in the post. Houston's going to play one-on-one. They're going to be too worried about Clayton and the guards and the outside shot. They don't want Florida to get off. So they're going to play him one-on-one. So that's another thing. If Houston gets into foul trouble down low, that'll free up the Florida offense that much more. So that might be the way Florida attacks them. Get him in foul trouble, loosen him up.
And here's the thing, too. It's 12.5 points for his points and assists. If you guys really want to just go to one thing, he's exceeded his 10.5 points 7 of his last 8 games. He's averaging just short of 13, where he is scoring above that mark there. Like that could be 11 points, 2 assists.
What's his assist prop?
His assist prop is 2.5.
You might want to even just play that alone. He can get 3.
So his assist prop, he missed it the last 2 games on this 2.5 line. But I mean, he's hit it many times. He's hit it. It's even 5 out of 5. So
yeah. You might want to just play. You could go crazy on those player props. You could play the combo, the assists, and maybe the points too. You could play 2 out of the 3.
Yeah. So there's some player props.
There's
for
some
everybody.
there's some easily gettable player props for sure. So.
All right, guys, before we get out of here, before we wrap this special up here, and I appreciate everybody sticking around here with us, of course.
Sure.
Let's do it, guys. We're going to lock in our winner, 2 favorite bets, and what your score prediction is.
Okay. Alan, you go first. You go first.
Alan, kick us off, man. Who's the winner?
The winner will be the Florida Gators, but just barely. Florida Gators, but just barely.
What's your 2 favorite bets in this game?
I like the under 141.5, and then Florida. What is it? -1.5, minus 1.5. Florida -1.5.
-1 right now. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then score prediction.
I'm gonna go 73-71 Florida.
Nope. Wait a minute. You said under 141.5.
Oh wait, hang on.
He bet over.
oh, wait a minute. I changed my mind. It's over.
69-66.
Nice. That's pretty nice.
69-66 Florida.
That's a nice score. All right, Scott.
So my boy, I got Florida in all my brackets. I should really go Houston someplace. I should just hedge myself like I did last night with the Hawaii game. What the heck? I'll go Houston. Houston's gonna win. No, wait a minute, Florida. No, I changed my mind. It's Florida. Florida can't go against myself. My 2 bets very easily. Second half under 74.5 with Florida and Houston. That's number 1. And this BetMGM one is really calling me out here. Points to be scored in the first minute of the game. No is +260. So I'm going to say no. That's my other bet.
All right, which score prediction?
Florida 67, Houston 65.
There you go. All right, guys. Here we go. Taking Houston as the winner. Houston does win this game. Okay. We are taking the Walter Clinton Jr. exceeding his 23.5 points and assists here. We're taking the under total first half points of 60. Was that 66.5? I think it was. 66.5. Yeah, on Fanatics. Yeah. So we're taking the under there in the first half. And my score prediction here, and it's going to be a wild one, guys. It's going to be wild. We might have the under in the 66.5, but we have the over in the total game. It's going to be 85-82 Houston. That's right. I said 85 for Houston.
Alan, I thought one of your bets would be would the game go overtime. That's what I thought one of your bets would be because it's so much plus money. 900.
I really like that, but I'm playing it safe.
Okay. All right.
But so you know what? If it does go overtime, it's going to be like 50 something at the end of regulation.
It probably will happen, right?
I might put a list of bets that I make on my Twitter account too. So
there you go. SJCope1, go follow him at SJCope1 on X.
And again, Scott, 16 runs right now for the Red Sox. Wow.
Are they really up to 16? Perfect.
It's 16-2. Like, why couldn't you do this last week?
Toronto's coming in for the next 3 days. 0 runs the first 2 games. I know it's coming. So good luck to them. Good luck to them. Good luck to them.
That's just how it is, guys. So, hey, make sure you guys catch us next Saturday. We'll be right back here on the Record Sports Hub. Lock it in here, as we always do. And we'll be going over our top 21 bets there for next Saturday. And of course, we'll be back Sunday, giving it to you in our show parlay. No, our show parlay did not hit yesterday.
Nope.
Thank you, Thunder. And I'm pretty sure the Knicks have covered. So I think we're okay on the Knicks covering today. So I'm double checking. I just want to see where we're at. Knicks. Yeah, they covered easy.
They
So,
covered it.
we're good. Way to go, Thunder. Way to go.
Damn.
They stink.
Damn.
They stink, I tell you. But yeah, catch us next week, guys. We'll be right here. Catch us on Tuesday night for the Rec Room Weekly. I'm sure I'll be talking the recap of the NCAA women's title game. We'll be talking the recap of the NCAA men's title game. We'll be going over some baseball discussion as well on top of NFL draft.
It's official. Double bracket winner Rec Room.
Yeah,
All of you. I'm not kissing my belts either. So Nick, I'm not doing that.
Yes. Acknowledge my wife, man.
Acknowledge me. Everybody acknowledge me.
Hey,
April,
we're
where
gonna-
are you? South Carolina.
Yeah, April.
Come on, April.
Oh man! All right, guys. Make sure you guys lock it in here.
American League.
We'll be back here next week. Enjoy the title game. Enjoy the final
games
game of NCAA basketball for the season. And until next year. So, all right, we'll see you guys.